Hello everyone. Today's session let's discuss about Git file tracking and .gitignore file. For Git file tracking, we are using git status command. The git status command it will show untracked files, modified files, and deleted files. Untracked files means the files which are not moved from working directory to staging directory. That files will call it as untracked files. Okay. For moving that files, we have command git add and the file name and yeah, then git commit file name. Git commit and need to pass commit message. This is a process for checking untracked files using git status command. Now let's discuss .ignore file. .git ignore file. .ignore files, it tells the Git to ignore specific files slash directories when they're committing from working directory to staging directory. Okay. Example here one use case is there like when building the project. Okay, like a source code project, a source code for any project. We have some log files, right? We have log files, env files, and some dependency files. This is not required for pushing the files into remote repository. Okay, to to avoid pushing that files, okay, to avoid pushing that files, we need to create .gitignore directory. Then we need to create .ignore file. Then we need to mention what files need to ignore it. Then when pushing that file from local to remote. Okay, when we are committing that file from local to remote, what happens means these files it will ignore. It will push only the application related source code. Okay, let's show practicals related to git ignore. First, ls. Yeah, I'm creating some environmental files. Okay, it has some secrets. These secrets are sensitive data, right? Okay, this sensitive data we should not push from your system to like private repos, like private remote repos. Okay, some organization have a restriction, so we should not push the sensitive data from your organization to outside. So that's why we need to ignore env files in pushing the code from local to remote. Example, I'm providing some secret ID. I'm providing some random number. ID is Uday and secret key is some. I'm providing some random number, some random password. Okay, these are the sensitive data of your project. Okay, this information you should not push it to your remote repository. Okay, this file need to avoid. Then some log files is present. When generating the project code, we have some log files also generated, like related to like some error troubleshooting of your code. Okay, for error troubleshooting, we'll get the log files. Okay, log.txt have some log files generated. Then I'm creating one more Docker file. This Docker file is required for your project. I'm creating Docker file. I'm creating one dummy Docker file. Um, Java 1.8.0 and using run. I'm telling to install install wget. Yeah, yeah. This is the like simple Docker file. This Docker file is related to your application. What happens in this case? You need to ignore app.env file and log.txt file. Okay, you need to push only this Docker file to from your local to remote. For this scenario, what you need to do means you need to create .ignore file and you need to add these two files in the .ignore and you need to yes you need to add these two files in .ignore folder. For that, I'm creating yes, I'm creating .ignore folder. Fetch dot ignore. I'm adding these files. Yes, we write not git ignore, then open using editor dot git ignore, then insert. I need to ignore all environmental variables, so that's why I'm providing dot env. Then I need to ignore all log files. So that's why I'm providing star. Like asterisk means it consider all log files. Yes. Now I am saving. Now you can check using git status. See, we have only .git ignore and Docker file. Okay, these are untracked files. Dot app.env. Now not showing that. Correct, right? Now it is showing only two. One dot ignore, second is docker file. These two files on the right present. Why? Yeah, see, this one file app.env log.txt we added in dot ignore for ignoring that files and docker file. Yeah, it is showing the two only right for the untracked files. Now need to move only this docker file into your remote to local. Git add docker file, git commit, git ignore files successfully. Now I am moving this file from staging area to local repository. Okay, then to map URL, you need to map your remote repository URL with your local repository. It is a remote repository URL, origin is alias name. It is already mapped. Now I am pushing. From local to remote. Dollar push dollar push. Yeah, I'm pushing to master branch to pass username AA software technologies and for a password instead of password I am passing the pad. Yeah, like now I need to provide username AA software technologies and password. Copy this and I need to paste. Yeah, this how gitignore works. Thanks for joining.